I'm 35, living in Hokkaido with my wife and our cat. I'm not a business owner, but an ordinary corporate designer. Yet somehow, this became my life. A garage with cars and motorcycles I love, a dream workspace, endless open roads, and amazing food that makes every road trip worth it. I certainly did not come from money, but I did pick up some ideas along the way. Not by chasing a bigger salary, not by building some crazy business, but simply by choosing the right place. In this video, I'll walk you through what I've learned from the places I've left and how they all came together. This is how it all started. I started my career in Tokyo. I lived in a small room, just enough to fit my desk and my bed. But it wasn't a bad start at all. Since I was the first UI designer in the company, I had plenty of chances to prove myself. My side hustle as a tech blogger went well too. I bought my dream car, the Lotus Elise. Every night after work, I drove onto the Tokyo Expressway, also known as the Shutoko. I met good friends there, who I'd later go on many amazing road trips with, including the sensational 3,000-kilometer trip to Hokkaido. Then the pandemic came. Things started to change. We all went fully remote. Commuting became less than a meter away. It was good at first. No more rush hour trains. I could sleep till the last minute before work. But gradually, it became a nightmare. I realized something wasn't right. Sleeping, working and eating in the same square meter slowly destroyed the boundaries. My mind was being eroded every day. I needed some space, somewhere to escape. One Friday morning, I thought for a moment. Since my commute no longer mattered, where should I really live? I searched, and I was lucky enough to find a lovely rental apartment that had just been built and listed on a real estate website. The next day, I went to see it and signed the contract. I moved to a place I'd dreamed of living, by the sea, just in front of Enoshima Island. Living in the Shonan seaside area in Kanagawa felt like a dream. As well as being a famous tourist spot, this place is home to many anime like Slam Dunk and MF Ghost. Actually living the scene and enjoying the vibe was pure joy. I had enough room, physically, to separate my work from my life. I thought I'd nailed it. But the numbers disagreed. Back in Tokyo, between Shutoko nights and all those road trips, my Lotus did over 17,000 kilometers a year. After I moved, this dropped to 3,000, and then to 1,000. You might think, why? Shonan, for all its fame, is choked with traffic every weekend. And it doesn't have looping highways to casually cruise like in Tokyo. The narrow roads made it a hassle to go for a short drive. It all added up until I just gave up driving. Also, since my parking space had no roof, I was wishing I had a house with a garage. But in reality, this was impossible. The land prices were crazy. Just getting a piece of land enough for an ordinary house was already out of reach with my average salary. Even second-hand houses with a proper garage had premium price tags I couldn't afford. I was beginning to see the ceiling on my salary, and my side hustle was losing traction. The goals here were far out of my reach. I was stuck. But in those years of being stuck, I met someone who changed my life. Someone who led me to the right place and later became my wife. She lived in Hokkaido, the place I once drove through and could never forget. I flew many times to visit her and the place. Every visit was just amazing. The food, the view, the road. I gradually became convinced that this was the place. I decided to let go of my dream home, which wasn't technically mine anyway. I moved all the way, 1,000 kilometers north, to Hokkaido. The first years in Hokkaido were tough, and we had to move out of the first place in just 6 months. But this experience helped us shape our dream home. After living 2 different rental properties in Sapporo, we finally managed to define the requirements of our dream home. Firstly, it has to sit in a calm, quiet, safe place. The first location we lived was in such chaos. Seeing police officers nearly became our weekly routine. Secondly, we needed space. Space to fit our house, our garage, and a carport. I drove cars, and my wife had been riding motorbikes for a decade. We needed a place for all of them. And usually, driving in a Hokkaido winter starts with clearing the snow off the car and the driveway every single time. But if you have a roof over it, you can skip that. The second location we lived had this, and it made life so much easier. Thirdly, the house needed to be decent. The flat we moved into after the first one looked fine at first, but was unexpectedly tough in the winter. The thermal insulation was so terrible that the heating bills were like paying rent on a second apartment. We needed a properly designed house to withstand the extreme winters of Hokkaido. And with our long list in hand, we went to visit some house builders. As we investigated where we could fit a home this size, we noticed most of the seats in Sapporo had been taken a decade ago. Ironically, this made us realize that we had a freedom of choice in the first place. Since neither of us needed to commute, we could plan from scratch exactly where we wanted to live. We didn't need to be inside the public transportation network. We'd been using cars for everything in Sapporo anyway. This time, we nailed it. We found a place just outside Sapporo that properly felt like home. Calm, quiet, where the sky fills most of the view. It felt so familiar. Maybe because of my childhood memories living just south of Manchester. Since we didn't have to pay for the premium price tags of the competitive areas, we could spend money on what truly mattered. A garage that fits all our fun vehicles. A carport that makes winter Hokkaido a start of an adventure, not a labor. A decent house that boosts our creativity no matter what season. And we have an empty space, just the right size to build my garden over the next decade. Enough space to invite my friends too. Hokkaido was once a road trip destination for me. Now it's where I welcome the very friends from that trip. This was the place. So, here I am. The right place for me was not the one everyone dreams of. It was the one that actually made sense. And once the place was right, things worked out. Not by adding power, but by adding lightness. That being said, there is still much to be done. My back garden still needs a decade of effort. Many roads are yet to be driven, and the cars and the motorbikes that have recently joined my journey are waiting for the adventures ahead. There are still plenty of stories that I feel are worth sharing. my lovely new workspace is ready for them. If you'd like to watch this design unfold, you're welcome to follow along. I'll see you in the next story.